That's getting pretty freaking high. I wonder if we need a carousel.
No, it's good to have it, Tiger.
Yeah? Alright, so we just dropped the engine and now we're gonna jump right into getting the fuel tank dropped because we gotta change the fuel pump there. So I got Craig, he's still here with me from Just Japs. So he is our trusty assistant today. So we're gonna work together, tag team this thing and try to get this engine out. So he's working on pulling the fuel lines in the back and I'm gonna work on pulling the clamps under the bottom of the car. So let's get to it. Alright, so we're deep in the belly of the MR2. So now we're gonna drop the fuel tank and we gotta pull the lines off. So we got this whole emissions whatever system. So we gotta pull one line here that's coming off the top, the second one that's coming off the top. So that's two. There are two more lines as well in the back, so that's 4. Then we pull this one, 5, 6. The main filler tube and then the main fuel feed line. So it looks like what, 7 lines that we have to pull here. So that's what we're gonna get to now, and then we're gonna go under the car and pull the strap. So this is the fuel tank drop on MR2. So let's get to it. Alright, continuing with the gas tank drop on the MR2. So we're gonna pull the stuff in the interior because there are 2 wires for the fuel sender that need to be disconnected. Basically this gray connector and this clear one, just unplug those. And you're gonna put them down through this hole. So basically when it comes down, the tank comes down, it doesn't get torn apart. So that's what needs to be pulled on the top. Now, contrary to what a lot of stuff you see on YouTube or you see on the forums, everybody says you gotta take this whole center console out, which you just need to unbolt it and lift it up just to kind of get this piece pulled off and then pull the ashtray out to access this. You don't need to physically take this out of the car. So if you want to save yourself some work, you don't have to get every single thing stripped apart. Just pull it loose, lift this up, pull the ashtray out, break this thing off, pull it from the clips, and then just unplug these 2 wires and plug it down. So now those are set underneath. See, just underneath through this hole. That's the piece are connected to here and connected to here, and there's nothing else. So now we're gonna go underneath. We pull the hoses already. We're gonna pull the brackets on the bottom of the car, and we're gonna get the tank down. So let's, fingers crossed, it's gonna go as smooth as everything so far. This canister thing out to here, and the hose is disconnected. So we had 1, 2, 3 hoses here, and we have the main filler hose pulled. So the clamp is ready to come down. We have this fuel hose. It's very hard, so we just ended up cutting it. So that's pulled, and then we have another vent hose here and the main fuel feed line here. So if we go under the car now, you'll see there are 4 clamps. And we got all of that disconnected. We pulled the water lines out to the way, pulled the AC lines out to the way. So we're on the last clamp that's holding the engine. So Craig is gonna pull that now. And we're gonna see how easy or hard this tank is gonna come down. So go for it, mister. I think that one just swing out of the way. I think I can. I don't know if it hang out. Yeah, there. So just drop your end first. Just drop your end and then wait to try to pull off these hoses. I got this one. You want to try to drop this side first? Yeah. And pull it forward?
Yeah.
Okay. This is really, oh, it's starting to come down. Yep. Okay, it's gonna drop, it's gonna drop. Hold on, wait. Let me hold it, You have it? You just caught it, but no, where's your... Hold it. Is it heavy?
No.
Alright, hold it. Alright, so... Let me see, there's a hose here. And that's free. Yep, there you go.
Good?
Yeah, it's going down. It's just a hose.
Oh, the
Tension
hose?
on the hose. You're gonna come in. One minute. Take it down. I'm gonna get it from the top because it's corrugated.
Okay.
It's kind of getting stuck. There you go. Feel. Where's that little clip? That's up. Let me pull. Clamp. It's just a clamp. It's just a hose is stuck in it. Here, let me. Alright. The MR2 has another baby. Alright, just put it out. Alright, we did it. So the tank is out. Wow. Alright, so here everybody says this is like the hardest thing to do on an MR2, taking the tank. To be honest with you, it's not crazy hard, but here's a tip. Get a friend, get somebody to help you, because doing this alone is, I don't want to say it's impossible, but it's a chore. You really need somebody else to help you on the front and the back to wiggle this thing out. This pipe is hard as a rock, and it got stuck in there, but we got it out. So tank is out. Let's go pull it up and change this fuel pump now. All right, we're giving the second baby its first bath. So I'm just gonna clean up the tank. So once we pull the pump out, no dirt, nothing is gonna fall in, and the real reason is I like everything clean, so it's gonna go in, and I know it's gonna be clean and it's gonna match well with the rest of the vehicle. So we're gonna do that. These are the 2 wires that we pulled from the inside of the vehicle and pushed down. That's the reason why we took the interior panels off. So the actual fuel pump is right in here. So we're gonna detach this 10mm, pull this whole line up, detach the screws here, lift this thing up, and I'll show you the parts in a second, the pump, the gaskets, and everything that we bought. We're also gonna replace this line, and I bought a gasket for here as well, so that will get done, and then we're gonna change all these fuel hoses as well. So this is getting a full overhaul, and hopefully once we put it in, it's gonna work perfectly and life's gonna be good. So it's gonna clean this thing up and it'll jump right into the pump. Alright, so now I got the tank all cleaned up, so we're gonna get the pump out, and there's a 10mm bolt you gotta pull to free the line here, and then there's some 8mm, there's 5 of them, 5 8mm bolts on the top. So let's pull these out, and then we're gonna lift this thing up, and let's see. I don't know if it's gonna be dirty and sludgy inside. Hopefully it's nice and clean, and we can just replace this pump and keep this moving. Well, let's see what's gonna happen here. Alright, so let's put this out of the way, and then this should just lift right up. Is this gonna be the third baby? Let's see, I gotta get this thing maneuvered to get the filter out. Alright. and it's looking pretty clean. So this is the, you know, I was wondering if the pump was replaced, and I figured even if it was replaced, it probably was replaced with the same OEM pump. So if my research serves me correctly, this is a factory pump. It looks like it was replaced though, but at least it's nice and clean. So looking inside the tank, don't see much sludge. Let me see if I can get a light in there for you. So pretty clean inside, I think. Yeah, I think it's clean. Yeah, it is clean. So I'm looking in, I know it's hard to see on camera, but yeah, it's pretty clean. So we're good to go here. All right, so we took the old filter off, and old pump off, sorry. And the tank is pretty clean. The only thing I saw was like this red stuff collected on the bottom. So there's a little bit left, and I was able to get it out. But all in all, the old pump is pretty clean. So basically pull this off of here. This is a ground wire, the black one. The green is the power wire, and you just unscrewed from here. So the new pump, as you see over here, comes with this connector, and then we're gonna have to cut this line and tap in with the provided pins that they give us into the ground and into the live. So we'll get that in here, and then this hose we had to cut it slightly. This came with the kit, we just cut a little bit off so it would fit perfectly in here. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the filter on. So where's the filter? I think, oh, here you go. We're gonna get the filter on, and then it has this little pin, a washer, that we just basically put on here. It's kind of hard to see with my glove. And then I'm just gonna use the pliers and just push it in, and that is gonna lock the filter in place. Once that's done, we get this rubber on. We're gonna slide this thing back in and connect the wires, and it's pretty much done. We'll get it back inside the tank. All right, so the fuel pump is in. Now we're just gonna connect the wires, and then Craig is gonna go ahead and replace the gasket on the filler neck. We're also gonna replace that hose back there. So we got 6 screws, 8mm. So he's gonna replace that, and I'm gonna finish up the wiring right here. This is overkill, but I'm even checking continuity on the butt connectors here just to make sure that they're good. Just a little insurance to make sure when I put this thing in, the connections were done right. So that's what's up here. All right, so once we get this in, we're gonna put the gas tank back up and just replace the hoses on the back. So yeah, we're moving along, it's looking good. So pretty soon this is going back up, and I would say this is going to be a pretty good afternoon. Got a lot of work done, taking the engine down and getting the gas tank back up. Alright, so today it's 7 o'clock, we started at 11. So all in all, not bad. We dropped the engine, we dropped the fuel tank, we changed the fuel pump, put everything back up. So it was a very productive day. So thanks to Craig, much appreciated, Craig from JustJaps Miami. So if you need anything, like I said, just hook him up. And here's one MR2, and guess what? Look right behind us here. Here's another MR2. So this is the one that you guys heard when if you were watching the previous videos, you saw when he went to Texas and he picked this thing up. This will eventually get swapped, so this will get a Gen 5 swap as well. So once we're done with that, this will be next. So keep watching. It's not just this car, we got more on the channel.